58% of Americans have less than $1,000 in a savings account. And most people live paycheck to paycheck, where if there was an emergency, they would have no way to pay for it. They would just put it on their credit card and use money that they do not have. Without creating a savings account, or what I like to call a sleep well at night account, you will continue to live in fear and uncertainty. And today, I want to share with you the #1 tip that I've used to pay myself first while building a savings account with minimal effort. Let's get right to it. If you're new to this YouTube channel, my name is Brandon Eastman with BeBetterIndustries.com, and here we talk about peak performance, mindset, as well as my own personal strategies that I've used to achieve my goals in my own life. So if you're into those things, hit the subscribe button below and be sure to hit the bell. That way you're notified of all future videos. And while you're down there, hit the like button as well, because that will allow this video to be shown to more people. 4 years ago, I was part of that 58% of people who had less than $1,000 to their name. And you know, I made great money. I made over $80,000 to $90,000 a year. But the reality is, it's not about how much you make. It's about what you do with the money that you make. And this is why we hear stories of all these famous sports stars out there who will sign $1 million contracts, and by the time they retire, they go broke because they were never taught how to manage their money. I made great money with the company that I'm with. However, I was never taught how to manage it. And as a result, I was thousands and thousands of dollars in credit card debt. And once I became debt-free, which is something that we can talk about in a future video, I knew that I needed something automatic in place that would pay myself first without having to even think about it. Because I know my habits. I'm an impulsive buyer. If there's something out there that I want, I go out there and I buy it and I don't think about it. And the problem was I was starting to spend the money that should have been getting put into a savings account. And what I did was I started doing something called automating my income and paying myself first. Think about it. Who do you pay first when you get paid? Most people pay the government first because you have to pay them first because they automatically take that money out of your account. And then after you pay the government and pay your taxes, you pay your bills. Then you buy the food that you need for that month. Maybe you'll put some money aside for your entertainment expenses. Maybe you'll put some money aside to go on that trip that you wanted to go on. And then the very last person that you just happen to get around to paying is usually who? Yourself. A lot of people fail to pay the most important person of all first. And I was the same way. I spent all of my money as soon as it came into my account, and anything that was left over, I would put towards my credit cards or put towards my savings. After a few years of doing that, I learned that that was not the best thing to do. So I read this book called Money Master the Game. It's a book by Tony Robbins. It's a massive 600 to 700 page book that talks all about financial freedom and personal finance. And in one of the very first chapters, Tony Robbins talked about something called automating your income. He talked about the importance of paying yourself first, and because he knows that most people are impulsive and they don't have the right habits in place, that's the very first thing he talks about, is making it so as soon as you get paid, or as soon as money enters your account, a certain percentage of that money goes into a separate savings account or a SWAN account. A SWAN account is Sleep Well at Night account. This is an account that you can use in case an emergency comes up, or in case your job lays you off, or in case there's a national pandemic where you just happen to need money at that time. That's a SWAN account. And that's the #1 tip that I want to share with you. Automate your income. As soon as you get paid, have a separate percentage get put into an account that you never touch. Think about a lot of people who get like a Planet Fitness membership. People who get a Planet Fitness membership, what generally happens? Maybe they go to the gym and they actually use it. That's great. But what happens to the people who don't use that Planet Fitness membership? They continue to pay for it month after month after month until they've been paying this $10 or $20 a month for a few years. So why is it that they continue to pay it? Is it because they think that they're going to go back? Is it because they think that they're going to go tomorrow? No, it's because that amount of money automatically comes out of their checking account every single month. And they don't even notice it because it's such a small amount. But that's the beautiful thing about automating your income. Just like the taxes that come out of your paycheck or maybe your 401k, you won't notice the extra percentage of your money going out of your bank account. You just won't even notice it because you'll only focus and notice the amount of money that is in there at that time. It's gotten to the point where I have 25% of my income going into a separate sleep well at night account. In some months, I'll look at my paychecks and what I bring in that month for income, and I'll look at it and I'll say, wow, did my extra percentage already get taken out? And I'll go into my separate account and I'll see that, in fact, that amount was deposited into the account. The thing is, you just won't notice that you're missing that money. And that's the power of this strategy. You see, I don't like budgets. I don't like calculating a certain amount of money that goes towards each area of my life every month. What I much prefer to do is pay myself first, pay the government, pay my bills, and then whatever's left is left. I can put more of that into savings if I want, but normally I use that for experiences, and I'll use that for travel, and maybe I'll do one pleasure buy that month, such as, I don't know, like a guitar or new camera equipment, or taking that money and putting it towards my business. But the magical aspect of this is pay yourself first by automating your income. Now you're probably asking, how is it that I set up a certain percentage of my income to go into a separate account each month? Well, there's a few different ways that you can do it. If you currently work for a company that deposits a paycheck into your account each month, that means that you already have a direct deposit rule set up with your company. And this could be very simple, or it could simply require an email to be sent to your HR department in order to have an additional amount or a certain percentage of that money go into your sleep well at night account. It could be an email that you send to HR. You might just need to log into your HR or your benefits website to set up a new direct deposit for a certain percentage to be put into your savings or your SWAN account. Now, if you are a business owner and you make your money from different jobs that you do and the money is sporadic, you can ask your bank to siphon a certain percentage of that money into a separate account of your choosing. The whole point here is do something so that you do not see that money before it gets put into your separate account. It has to be automatic. It has to be out of your mind. You can't be consciously thinking about this all the time. Make it so that percentage of money goes into the separate account. And I'm sure you can figure out a way to do that, because it will change your life. Now, I know there are some people out there who are saying to themselves, you know, I wish that I could do this, but I can't even take an extra 5% of my money and put it into a separate account. I couldn't imagine taking any money and doing that because I am literally living paycheck to paycheck right now. And to those people, I'll tell you this, I completely understand that. When I read Tony's book, he mentioned this concept, and I thought to myself, I don't have that extra money right now. But I trusted him, and I took his advice, and I started with a small amount. I started with 10% of my income would go into my separate savings account. And he has a concept in the book called pay yourself tomorrow. Meaning, start with a very small amount. If you're someone who can't really afford to put that extra amount into a separate account, I promise you that you can. You just have to change certain habits of yours. But what I would recommend is this. Start with 3%, maybe 5%, maybe 6 or 7. But start with a small percentage of your income going into that separate savings account, because this is going to help set yourself up for your financial future. This is too important to ignore. You do not want to be a part of that 58% of people who has no emergency fund that they can pull from. So start with a small percentage. And the concept of pay yourself tomorrow works like this. You start with a small percentage now, but in a month, when you get promoted, or in a month when you decide to up that percentage, go back into your account and up the percentage by 2 or 3 points. Maybe make a challenge to yourself that says every month I'm going to up the percentage that I pay myself by 2%, or maybe even smaller, 1%. Because what's going to happen after 12 months? Now you've got 15% of your income going into a separate account. Now, there's some people like Grant Cardone who says you should be able to put 40% of your income into a separate account every single month so that you can then use that money for investments. But what I recommend, and what I personally do, is I recommend at least 15% of your income to be put into this separate account automatically, or 20 if you can do it. Personally, right now, I do 25 because that's what my income allows me to do right now. But if you can do more, by all means, do more. Because the end result here that you want is you want to be able to have at least 6 months of expenses put away in this separate account that you can use if you need to. Because think about it, if you got laid off from your job, 6 months of expenses would be all you need in order to find a new opportunity. Or if a national pandemic sweeps the nation, you've got at least 6 months of expenses knowing that you're going to be safe and secure during that time. But what's beautiful is after you have that 6 months of expenses, any extra money that now goes into that account, you can use for investments. You can invest in the market, you could invest in real estate. We're not going to go into it in this video because the purpose of this is to talk to you about how to create that account and automate your income so that you have a savings or a sleep well at night account. But the outcome here should be to at least have 6 months of expenses put away in this separate account. The concept of paying myself first and automating my income to go into a sleep well at night account has completely transformed the financial game for myself. It's taken me from being in debt to being out of debt and now having at least 6 months of expenses put away in case of an emergency. And let me tell you guys, once you have this money put away and you know that you've got a store of cash available when you need it, you will breathe differently, you will talk differently, and you will walk differently. And not just differently, more confidently, because you'll know that you are secure, especially when you need to feel that way. So I challenge you to take action now. Automate your income. If you want more information about automating your income or more information on achieving financial freedom for yourself, go to the link in the description. The first link is for my book called Be Extraordinary, Your Guide to Self-Mastery. When you click that link, it'll ask you for your email. After you put your email in, I will send you a free ebook copy of Be Extraordinary. And then you can flip to the Financial Mastery chapter where I go over these concepts in more detail that can help you to take additional steps towards financial freedom. So if you had value from this video, click the like button. Go ahead and go in the comments and let me know about your financial situation because I'd like to help you more one-on-one right in the comments here, as well as ask your questions about peak performance and mindset and personal development in general. I'd love to create content that is specialized to what you're looking for. And don't forget, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell. That way you're notified of all future videos every single Monday. And here's to your financial future. Take care.